It can be, I suppose.
Every day Valentine's Day.
There you go. Okay, tell me if you guys can hear us. Okay, if you're here live, give us some love, say hello. If you're here on replay, drop replay down below. So no, we are not experts. We are not marriage or relationship experts. We have a little bit of experience between us. I thought you were going to say Happy Valentine's Day, early Valentine's, and all that kind of stuff. And
oh, Happy Valentine's Day, and early. You still have till Sunday to get anything for your significant other if you haven't already.
Yes.
So just a heads up in case you forgot.
So I have a question for all you guys. How important is Valentine's Day to you guys? Do you celebrate Valentine's Day? How important is Valentine's Day to you?
With you, it's the most important day.
Okay, so we're here in our living room. We decided to have a Valentine's toast. Cheers. Cheers to
Love and happiness
together forever. Okay.
And Nikki, once they get rid of those awful masks.
Okay, so we're going to go with some questions that we got through Instagram, and we're still on even Instagram, and mostly Instagram, honestly. And if you're here live with us, which I don't think anybody is yet, but when you do come on live, let us know what questions you have. Definitely say hi. Okay, so here's why we wanted to do this little Valentine's Day edition. We, as I said, we're not experts on relationships or love or marriage at all, but between the two of us, we were married a couple times. 4 times.
Married 3 times?
No, only 2 before you. We both say one of them doesn't really count, though, right?
Yeah, they were so short.
The brief ones didn't really count.
Ink didn't even have time to drive. Spent more time. Yeah. Anyway, that was awful. Lesson learned.
That's what we're going to talk about, lessons learned. So, but we feel like we hit the jackpot with each other. And we've been married now for 5 years, together for 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I mean, I'd say we're still like very much in love and very much in what your mother would call Shangri-La. Is that how you say it? Shangri-La?
Yeah.
It's a place.
It's a happy place. Well, other than Disney World, yes.
I don't know, eccentric. I'm so aesthetically ridiculous. I know.
Okay. Does anyone care that this is set?
It's off center. Nobody cares because nobody's there.
Well,
okay. Okay, so here we are. Hi, give us some love. Here, you type in there. Give us some love if you're joining us live because we don't know you're there if you don't say hello. Okay, so let's start with some questions. Okay, so actually let us give you some background. So we've been together for 7 years now. We've been married for 5. Before that, you and I were both married. We both have a couple of long marriages and a couple of very short marriages on our repertoire, our resume. I don't know if it's really something you want on your resume.
It's just bad. But it wasn't. No. Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I wasn't bad. It just wasn't a fit.
Right. So let's start with that because we both had children in our previous relationships, and I really tried to let my former spouse know actually that it just wasn't a good fit. I would say, and you said the same thing.
Well, yeah, it's just a communication thing. We communicated it, where we communicate more along the same.
Okay, so what does that mean? Talk to us about that.
Well, you have to know if your significant other is a touch person, a words of affirmation. There's several different, tests you can take that will say, oh, you're more of this kind of person or that kind of person. I don't believe them in 100%, but some of them, they got a little something to them, I do believe.
That's right. It's closer.
If you touch it again, I'm done.
This is true love.
It's okay.
Okay, so here's something interesting about that. So the 5 love languages, we both have the same love language. And I do think that's helpful. They say opposites attract. I'm going to tell you that I personally don't believe that opposites do well for the long haul. What are your thoughts?
No. I mean, they're great at first. When they have
everything's great at first.
But what I always refer to as monkey love. You're just going at it like rabid monkeys. But, everything's great then.
Exactly.
But it's the day in, day out when you really get into stuff and biggest thing is communication, talking.
everybody says that, but what does that mean?
It means actually talking about everything.
So I think that's one of the things that I loved at first about us was that like I could share every stupid thing with you, like every little stupid thing, and I still can, and that everything is important. Like everything I'm thinking, going through, talking about, considering is important to you, and vice versa. Like we really like to talk to each other and share everything with each other because we like to share our lives together, but obviously we're not sharing every bit of our life together every single day.
No, that's what it works. Sometimes.
You know,
Yeah. Well, then, but also that means like Allie will get up with me if I go in to work at 2 a.m. She will talk to me on the phone the entire drive in, which is roughly a 40-minute drive. And when I get off work, no matter what time I get done, we end up kind of writing that time off. Unless it's during the day and she's got other meetings or other things planned.
but it's kind
I
of
call my mom.
sacred. You call your mom. Hey,
Or
mom.
Paige,
Okay.
you know, my daughter.
But that's kind of sacred time for us too. And I think that's one of the things that married couples, other than communicating, which is really important. We talk about struggles in communication in a second, but I think that the fact that couples who have rituals, I think are really important. And that's one of our rituals. And it started obviously in the beginning when we were still learning about each other and we want to talk to each other all the time. But it's continued on as part of our ritual of our relationship that no matter what, we at least get that drive time together. I'm building a business, and so I'm often very busy, but it's really nice when we at least have that time and we can just, say everything that's been going on, catch up, talk about things, and that's one thing that does keep us connected, right? Okay, so I'm going to go with some questions. Anything else to say about that? So communication doesn't just mean talking, though. Communication also means working things out because inevitably couples are going to have struggles. So, oh yeah, somebody's there. Hey, no, Nicole's there. Say hi. Hey, Nicole. Hi.
Hey, Nicole.
Give us some love and drop us some questions.
Send a heart. It's Valentine's Day.
Yes, hearts for Valentine's Day. Lots and lots of hearts. Okay, so communication doesn't just mean talking. It also means working things out. Okay, so let's talk about when we have conflicts because inevitably you're going to have conflicts. So one of the first things that I noticed that was different about us was that even though we definitely have conflicts, right? But the other's needs, desires, wants, feelings are primary to both of us. So it's not me, no, this is my way, this is what I want, da da da. It's like, yes, this is how I feel, but I really want to work this out with you. Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? What are you needing? We come from that common place of putting each other first and trying to figure it out for each other.
Yeah, and finding balance. I mean, balance is everything, regardless, no
Again,
matter what it is.
Communication balances are like trigger words. So what does that mean in a communication, like working things out perspective?
Finding the middle, like middle ground.
Do you think we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
I think it also means like if something's really important to you, then that's like if there's some things that like this is really important to me, I need this or whatever. But then there's a bunch of other things that you think are important, but they're really not that important. So if you can say, okay, if you can identify for yourself what's really, really important, and then go, what's really, really important to you or for you, and then everything else in between doesn't really matter. Like that's all. It's okay, but we just have to make sure that if it's a game changer or non-negotiable for you, that's I know what it is, and I respect that, which I do because I respect you. And I respect that for our relationship because I want it to work. Now, if we ever had a situation where we both had something that was, no, this is that important, and we couldn't find a middle, I don't think we have. I think it's generally been, this part's really important to me, this part's really important to you, how do we make that work? And okay, so let's be really transparent here. So for the last year and then up again this year, I have been doubling down on growing my business. And this is for us. It's for me in a lot of ways because there's a lot about me that is all about me in this business because it's all about my passions and my love. But the growth of the business overall is definitely about us and our future. So we know that, we talked about that going in, but it also means compromise and sacrifice on a day-to-day sometimes, and sometimes it gets out of whack. And it's been out of whack this week, let's be real.
Yeah.
It's been out of whack. And so, and then what we know, what we established from the beginning is that conversations, connection, like we both agreed, I want to be so connected with someone, with you, that like it's above everything else, that it's like a spiritual experience, that it's, that we can, and truthfully, when we are connected, we like literally can read each other's thoughts and each other's sentences. It's that
Scary.
it's cool. It's that good. And that's what we want. Like that's who we want to be to each other. So, but I mean, sometimes it gets out of whack. So we had a conversation today. We're feeling pretty disconnected. I start getting grumpy. You start getting grumpy. We both start getting grumpy. And then it's almost like a standoff sometimes. Like you're being grumpy, you're being grumpy. You know, it gets kind of petty. But I know one thing that another thing we always agreed on is if we can talk about it, we can work it out, we can figure it out because we are each other's priorities. So as long as we can connect and talk it through. So one of the things we came up with today was we need to have daily touch points. Because of COVID, Eric doesn't go to work every single day, so we don't get that drive time every day. So we thought, okay, maybe we need to set up, even when we don't go to work, we have that time where we still connect first thing in the morning and maybe a couple other touch points throughout the day so that we don't just spend all day in the house together, but actually morning speak sometimes because I'm busy working and you're doing other projects. Yeah, so that's about communication. Okay, I have a question here that I thought was kind of sweet. It's actually from one of our girls. It's, what's your favorite part about having a blended family? So let's
Extra kids.
I knew you were going to say that. So here's the deal. Eric had 2 children when we got married, and I had 3. They were all almost grown. So we did have we were almost empty nesters. It was 5 years before.
And we weren't going to start again because,
no.
Yeah, we're not spring chickens. And
we're not?
No.
It's all like genetic age, not biological.
Yeah. So didn't want to.
No. So anyway, we're not going to start again. Anyway, we have children between the ages of
21 to
35. So pretty much they were all pretty close to grown or adults when we got married. But I know for you, you always wanted to have like a whole baseball team.
I'd have a bus load if I could. Yeah.
So the best part for you is having more kids?
Oh yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's more. Less disappointment when you got a whole bus load. No, it's just,
well,
I don't know. I've always wanted that. I like having a big gaggle, a big gang of folks. I love cooking. I love our holidays because we fill the house full between the grandkids and the kids. I mean, it's great. I mean, thank God we don't live in New York or California because we wouldn't be able to, we'd have to decide who was coming over, who wasn't, which, no thanks. Or I'm going to
we're not going to go, we're not going to talk politics.
No. I'm just saying, I'm grateful that we don't have those rules governing us.
Right.
That wouldn't work.
No, I think family is extremely important to us. I actually think we probably should do more family days, honestly. Like I would like to make that a priority, but I know for sure we definitely do. We do it. Usually there's a birthday every month, and then at least every holiday, well, every major holiday, and those are my favorite times of the year. So the other thing we get with a blended family is, I mean, we get more love. We get more people. I mean, I get an added daughter looking to me, asking me for information, advice, and you get the same thing, right? Hey, what about this? Right. So we get that bonus. And I would have had more children too, most likely, if I'd been with the right partner and circumstances were different. I probably would have had several. So together we probably would have had 12. So that's the blended family question. Okay. So how do we solve problems and conflicts? I think we kind of talked about that, the communication thing. Talking, right? Okay. How do you stay connected? We talked about that.
Go to Disney.
We are Disney fans. That's on here. Is it true that you are Disney fans, and why?
I grew up in South Florida, so I've always had, I guess, a little thing for the mouse. I don't know. It's a wonderful place to go to that no matter what your age, I believe, and you believe in magic at least a little bit, even just to look around and see it on all the other kids' faces, even if we don't take ours with us. No offense, children, but there are a lot of times we can spend our day doing our stuff. Because when you take kids, you got to do your kids' one. So as we've gotten older now,
Actually, never done.
and the kids grown, no, we did our senior trip.
But that was it. I mean, they were seniors.
Well, and I took kids a couple times.
Right. But I have never done kids Disney. I've only done really pretty much adult Disney.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Definitely different. But there's always so much to do. And it's always different. To me, it's like the way people describe cruising, but on land. And you can choose which way you're going to go every day.
And every one of our Disney trips has had a different theme to it. We like to vacation the same way. I don't want to cook when I'm on vacation. I don't want to make my bed. I'm very disciplined at home. We do that stuff all the time. You cook all the time. I make sure the bed's made every day. So I don't want to do any of that stuff when we're
vacation's first class, great.
Right.
From start to finish.
Right. So we like to do the concierge level thing. We're people. We like to know the people. So when we do concierge level, there's always the same people. They know who we are. We know them. We've developed relationships and friendships with those people. We're actually missing out a lot about Disney right now. And
well, it's heartbreaking. We were there in October, and half of the staff and people we knew, if they didn't have at least 15 years in, they were getting ready to be furloughed or were on the sidelines because of right now. But
we do like thrill rides and
shows.
We do like shows. We do like great food. We like great food, and these are the 4-star chefs. Like, so we do it all out. So we do the dining plan too. This is probably not. We should do a whole nother live on that, which we will. Anyway, so we won't talk more about Disney because we need to do a whole nother live about why we do Disney. Let's see if there's any other.
Send us questions below.
Definitely do some questions. We can do a whole thing about Disney.
And we can probably, you go subscribe to Allie's YouTube channel, which I'm sure the link is somewhere on this page. And hit the subscribe button and tell us what you want. This content, we can see if we can make it happen.
He's my manager. Okay, so last question. We're going to be done. So how do you know that the person that you're dating or with is the person? How do you know they're the right one?
Oh, that's a tough question. Well, yes and no. I mean,
we knew like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always physical attraction, but there's also that deeper mental connection. To me, you end up going through a big checklist, and that's some of the things that I learned along the way. It's just that it takes a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody is physically attracted to a certain degree, but that next step for longevity has to be more.
And I did have a checklist. Mine was actually written down. Of course it is, because I like to check things off.
Yeah, I checked everything but vegan because I'm a carnivore.
And I'm no longer vegan. So some of the things that were on my checklist were, I wanted to be with somebody who wanted to be with me. I was the main person I wanted to be with. I had more fun with that person together than anywhere else. I wanted somebody to do a life with, not, we live together, which has been some past experiences. We may pay some bills together, but we don't really do life together. So I wanted that. I wanted a deeper spiritual connection. I wanted like a real deep heart connection with somebody. I didn't know it was going to be like you could actually read each other's thoughts and things like that, but that was part of it.
Each other's sandwiches.
Sandwiches, Disney. Okay, and then what else did I want? I wanted somebody who liked movies. I wanted somebody who liked to do things and have fun. I wanted somebody who liked to work out.
Yeah.
And be fit, be healthy. And I think we do a decent balance of both. I think we've had extremes one way or the other, but I think overall we've definitely come into a closer place of balance of fun, fitness, health, balance. Good point. I did have vegan on there, but that wasn't really a part of it. It was really about being a part of that other person's inner circle. But if you haven't read the book, Attached, The Signs of Adult Attachment, it made things really clear for me, because my other relationship, I was what they call an insecure relationship type, but it was because I was with the other type, which is not the type you are. He's secure. I was insecure. So I was with somebody who's like disconnected. I never remember what it is, but they're not connected to you. And so I always felt insecure because it was always a part of what I was thinking about. It was always there because it just wasn't right for me. And I read that book, and it was just one of the pieces that made me finally realize that there's a lot more that we could go into on this on another conversation, which we will. But I knew that it just wasn't a good fit, and I didn't have to try to make it a fit because it was never going to be a fit, because that relationship type was always going to be like a disconnected person. They weren't ever going to connect deeply with somebody, and I wanted a deep connection. But the other thing I learned was that if an insecure type like me was in a relationship with a secure type like him, that I would become secure. And I don't worry, I don't think, before my other relationship was always in my head, and I was always like, always there. It was always like, because it was never quite content. It was never okay. It was just always in the back of my mind. It was like a program playing in the background. With you, I mean, everything's okay all the time. Like, I know it's gonna be, I know it's okay, and even when it's not okay, which sometimes it's not, I know it's gonna be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's all we have for now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Definitely give us some hearts down below for Valentine's Day. If you like this, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, Alicia McPeak Presents. Hit the notification bell and come visit us often so you don't miss anything. If you guys want more info on what adulting in business is like, let us know. And any other content that you like, let us know. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will return to answer questions and give more content. So thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah.
Yep. Happy Valentine's Day.
See you later. Bye.